You're watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ghostfire Media. I am your host, Adam Wood, and I am bringing you the action tonight from Sonoma Raceway. The AOLL TNT Series tonight will be doing a wonderful road course here, and I cannot wait for these guys to get it underway. It's a wonderful racetrack. These cars handle okay-ish here. I think they kind of rebound a little bit better than the Cup cars. So I think we're going to end for a really great race tonight. We're going to watch Derek Sheeling as he goes out. They're not running I wouldn't say the newer course, but the longer course here. As you've seen the Cup cars run, they normally about right here. They would be hanging right down where those orange cones are and kind of going down through a carousel and coming back up. So I think the Cup cars ran this for the first time in a long time last year. But they chose not to do it. They're doing the one that they kind of ran for years prior to that. A little bit easier, less challenging for the drivers here. Sometimes that carousel, you feel like you're going so slow, and so you get on it, and it's a major mistake because the car wants to go around on you. So it's kind of more, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, everybody knows Walking Glen's carousel, so it's similar to that. Instead of being a right-hander like at Watkins Glen, it's a left-hander. So we got Derek Sheeling right now coming through the final corner right here. Remember back in the day, you had Tony Stewart and Casey Kane, or no, it wasn't Casey Kane. Brian Vickers. Yes, it was Brian Vickers in that gray Red Bull car. They got upset with each other, and I think Vickers parked Tony Stewart out there in the final corner right there a couple years back. But yeah, right now we see Derek laying down some pretty good lap time. It looks pretty good. His car is really sticking here. It doesn't look like he's having too much trouble right now. I don't see too much overdriving from him. Locks up the brake right there. You saw a little bit of smoke. You're going to go through the gear shifts like that. Ooh, gets into the grass right there. Loses it, locks her up. Let's go over to Cody Mitchell here. Cody Mitchell's on his out lap. Josh Laston just completed his first lap. His first lap is his number, 1:18.88. A lot of eights there. Blake Zedes in second right now. After his first lap, he ran a 1:19.70. Carl Henderson's in third with a 1:21.47. And John Gordon is right now the next one up that's ran his lap time is a 1:23.42. Brandon Bernhardt just ran his first lap. He moves up in the third with a 1 minute and 20 seconds, .08. He's real loose. Let's move over to, let's see what Brandon Bernhardt is doing. Brandon Bernhardt has been putting on a clinic here in the TNT series. He's a front runner every single week. Some weeks you don't think he's going to be up there, but at the end he is. As you can see, it locks up the brakes right there. A lot of smoke. Like with the different camera angles here, and see what all action we have. Man, it's wide open there. He's coming around, hits the dirt right there, looses it. Good thing we came to him. We can see that number 70 all beat the hell up. Take it down the drag strip, my friend. Take it down this drag strip. See what you can do. All right, let's see what Christopher Oliver's doing tonight. So Christopher Oliver coming out here. He's on his out lap right now. Josh Laston, his second lap was a little bit slower. So was Blake Zedes, Brendan Bernhardt. Yeah. Carl Henderson's, he had a little bit faster lap on the second one and put him up to 4th spot with a 1:20.10. Derek Schilling's second lap got him up to 5th place. He's Derek Schilling got a 1:20.58. So the first, second, or the third, fourth, and fifth right now, their times are pretty equal. They're about a half a second off each other. You got Dave Wright, his first lap puts him in 7th spot at 1 minute 25 seconds, .04. Mike Wazinski, his lap time is a 1:26.06. He's good enough for 8th. Really like this paint scheme here from Christopher Oliver as he gets loose. Waiting to see if Gary Winters gets out there. Gary Winters had the fastest practice time from what I remember. He has not put down an actual lap time yet. He hasn't went out and qualified. Here, let's ride on board here with Christopher Oliver and see what the track looks like from his eyes. He's coming down here to the final corner. He's got to get really hard on the brakes here. Close to the wall as he can. Sling it across the bottom here. Get a good drive out. Go across the line. Keep as much momentum as you can right now. Car gets a little loose right here. Sling it. Kind of want to go more towards the wall right there. You want to hang a little bit left over to the curb. That'll set you up to this corner just a little bit more, so you have a little bit more turn in. It's tough not to be able to hit the gas on that uphill coming out of that corner because you want to, but the car gets so upset when you're trying to press the gas too hard right there. They're able to get on the throttle. Brake a little bit too late. You want to kind of hug the inside of that corner. Now it's the balance of speed versus agility through these corners. Now you want to lay to the speed a little bit. You back off the speed right here. The car rotate, get back on the gas. Hard on the brakes. Let the car rotate around. Feel that floating point, hit the gas, take back off again. And just full send all the way to the start finish line because it's the last lap. That's one lap here around Sonoma Raceway. Christopher Oliver's time, that one was good enough for 6th spot, 1 minute 21.64. Alrighty, so we're about 56 seconds here away from the end of qualification. We have uh, 9 drivers who's qualified, and 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers who have not qualified just yet. Derek just commented. He said he wants to see how much he can mess up here, man. I just think it's a little bit easier, Derek, than when you ran it here earlier with the IVRL. You don't have to make that right-hander and go through the carousels. We can see the carousel on our screen right now. So when you can also see the drag strip up there. I wonder if these guys went out and practiced their drag racing skills prior to or during practice tonight. I know whenever we were out there for IVRL, we lined them up and see who could actually win on this drag strip. It wasn't about who was the fastest, who can modulate the gas to put the power down to win that drag racing event here at Sonoma Raceway. I really like that they have a drag strip built into their actual raceway. You know, not many other tracks out there have it built. Normally you would see it's a side thing about a mile or two away from the track or something like that, but no, they have it built into it, and it's awesome to see. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and put up the the grid for tonight. The qualifying results are up. Right now, number 1 on the pole will be our very own Josh Laston from Closed Circuit Racing. The Pasta Man Blake Ziti is going to be 2nd. 3rd will be Brandon Bernhardt. 4th will be Carl Henderson. 5th is Derek Schilling. 6th is Christopher Oliver. 7th is John Gordon. 8th is Dave Wright. 9th is Mike Wazinski. 10th is Gary Winters. 11th will be Timothy St. Jean. 12th is Joshua Mays. And starting 13th will be Cody Mitchell. Ed Springer is our in-race admin for the night. So I got word from the admin, Mr. Ed Springer. He said around the minute 22 and a half mark, they will throw or close the pits. And then roughly around the 25-minute mark when they start racing, that's when they will actually throw the caution competition. So that's the only caution that's going to come out tonight. The rest of them are going to be local cautions, slow down as needed to avoid wrecks on the track. This is not one of those codas or other type of smaller tracks like the Roval, where when you spin, there's not much places to go and you stay in the raceway. Most people who spin here spin out in the grass and go somewhere else. Look forward to seeing a great race from here. Good to see we got 13 people showed up tonight. Let's see what type of camera angles I got here. We got turn 3. What this curb camera has got. Which one's this one? This is the curb camera coming off that sharp corner right there. Turn 7. Got the S's. Oh, that's a good Good shot right here. Definitely going to be using this one a lot tonight. Fortunately, the voice of Randy Pepper was not going to be able to hear. He's kind of has other engagements, so you're forced to listen to me all night long here. I'm going to try to keep it entertaining. I'm going to try and see how many wrecks we can have tonight. We're going to showcase each and every wonderful mishap here tonight. As we always do here on Ghost Fire Media, we want to make sure everybody gets highlighted for both their good achievements and bad achievements. A pace car is all. They were about to go green, ladies and gentlemen. Green flag is out. Josh Laston gets a great jump, but Blake Ziti is right there on him. As they climb the hill turn 1 going into turn 2 here. Blake Ziti had the preferred line being on the inside right there. He's going to clear Josh going up the hill. Josh is going to stay on him. Climb him right there. Almost overshoots that corner there. I wonder how bad damage does that do hitting those curves like that. The car is going up and slamming down. I wonder how bad that is for the suspension in real life to see that. Josh Lasson, though, is not letting the Pasta Man out of his reach whatsoever. They come through the S's here. Sliding down here to the hairpin. The first lap jitters. Anybody lock it up, does anything, and everybody keeps it relatively safe here on the very first lap. Blake Ziti does the wrong line there. Gets offline. Goes out in the dirt right there. Josh Laston will capitalize right there. It's easy to do to get off sequence with the corners, and we're on lap 2. So kind of getting a rhythm here, learning everything. I'm gonna push it just a little bit too hard. He's gonna capitalize, so we'll be able to regroup. He's already looking at trying to outbrake Christopher Oliver here in this corner. Doesn't get it good enough a launch to be able to capitalize, but he's going to be on the inside line again. I think Christopher Oliver not letting go here. Got a good battle right here between Derek Schilling and Carl Henderson. John Gordon's trying to mix it up right now. He's trying to get underneath there, underneath Derek Schilling. Carl Henderson's pulling away from Derek just a little bit. We got Cody Mitchell out there crashed. Let's see what happened with him. Just locks it up a little bit too much. I wouldn't call it a crash, iRacing, but thank you. So we're back. They're already going around Dave Wright already. What happened to John Gordon? John Gordon was right there on him. Now he's falling back. So let's see what happened here. Go back over here. Oh, John Gordon gets off track right there. See here. Just gets a little bit too much power right there. Coming up the hill, car gets off center just a little bit when giving a little bit too much power. It sends them off into the dirt there. I wonder if these tires, though, whenever you get them off center and put them into the grass like that, how quickly do they recover? I know the Cup cars, they act a little squirrely for a couple laps, or at least a lap. They feel off. They don't feel like they got the grip. They're a little loose. And we see the battle right now between Derek Schilling and Blake Zede is heating up here. Blake Zede's looking to the inside. He's going to try to outbrake him. He's able to clear him through the S's here. Blake Zede is a man on a mission trying to come back through here. And we see Gary Winters. I told you he was one of the fastest guys in the overall practice who did not qualify. He's coming back up through the pack here. Right now, Josh Laston is the man to beat. He's already got a 5.75 second lead over Brandon Bernhardt. Josh Laston is always a threat out here on these road courses, but I'm not sleeping on both Blake Zede and Gary Winters tonight. I think once we get regrouped here, I think these guys might have something for them. At least keep it interesting for me, so he's not just running away from this race. We see Carl Henderson and Brandon Bernhardt are close. Blake Zede is the best action on the track here. Blake Zede's out there. You can see his car wiggling just a little bit. He's trying to put down the power down as much as possible and as quickly as possible to get an advantage. It looks like he's trying to outbrake him coming into the corner here, and he does. He's going to outbrake Carl Henderson, take over that spot. He'll move up, back up in a third spot. And away he goes. But right now, he's about a second and a half off of his teammate, Brandon Bernhardt. And he's closing the gap in a hurry. He's down to a second gap now between Brandon Bernhardt and third place of Blake Zede. Both go wide right there. Hitting that curb, you can see it go over it. Brandon Bernhardt's not playing around though. He hugs that corner very tight. He's hitting the spots, but I think Blake Zede, who's now down to 0.3 of a second gap, is hitting it just a little bit better and pushing the issue just a little bit more. As you can see, it was going, but pushing the issue does that, and he's in a wreck. He is sideways. Gary Winters flaps into him. If I can rewind it here. He's pushing the issues, hit the gas a little bit too hard right there. Gets him sideways, gets him around. As he's sitting there rolling across, he slams on brake, but Gary Winters has no place to go because he's sitting in an angle in the center of the track right there. Look at Gary Winters. We want to look at Gary Winters, not Blake Zede. There we go. Gary Winters' car is done after that. Blake Zede's car looked like it still had room to do stuff, but Gary Winters, no. And sadly, at that point, he already missed the pit road entry, and he cannot get back into pit road at that point in time. So he's got a tow, and that's going to cost him at least a lap. And right now, we also had Joshua Mays. Joshua Mays that said he crashed, so let's see exactly what happened. Just going through the S's there near the end. Gets a little loose, slaps the out the exterior wall. I can't say it's that outside wall, but it's the exterior wall. He got a little bit of nose damage. He waits for Mike Wadzinski to get by him. Go back live. Right now, there's we have a good battle right here. John Gordon and Cody Mitchell. John Gordon easily clear him going through there. The last little bit and coming down to the last corner. Wonderful hairpin. You hear these cars really motoring going through here. Got a good battle right here. Derek Schilling's all over the back bumper of Carl Henderson, but then you got Gary Winters in the mix right now. And we got Brandon Bernhardt. Carl runs a little bit too wide there. Gives up the spot to Derek Schilling. Derek Schilling moves up to third place. Carl Henderson moves back to fourth place. What happened to Blake Ziti? Blake Ziti is now back in fifth. Let's go back. Let's see what happened to Blake Ziti here. We got Blake. That's right. Blake Ziti fun around there. Memory loss here. Rainford. Blake Ziti's lost about 13 seconds to these groups. He didn't go in the pit. He stayed out there with the damage he had. You can see that right impact. His tires has a little bit too much camber in it now. I think he's just trying to see if he can limp this one all the way back until the competition caution comes out. So Derek Schilling is driving his way up, trying to take over second place from Brandon Bernhardt right now. He caught up to him almost. He's about 0.8 of a second back now. Whereas Josh Laston has an 8.48 second gap over Brandon Bernhardt, who's sitting in second spot. If you look up in the track map, you can see the number one in the top right hand corner, and the relative where the second, third, and fourth place cars are right there. Unfortunately, we got Mike Wadzinski as the first car. I believe he's the very first car a lap down and not. So when the competition caution comes out, if Gary Winters does not catch him, Mike Wadzinski is going to be the first one to get his lap back. And it looks like we have Blake Ziti. He finally goes into pit road. Ryan, I think he said these are probably so fun here. I guarantee you they are more fun than the Cup cars here. I think they would be way better to drive on a road course versus the Cup cars here. Looking at a battle here and see if the lap car will slow down Brandon Bernhardt any. Will allow Derek Schilling to close the gap, and he does. Derek Schilling's almost to his back bumper now. Now's the time where Brandon Bernhardt has to ensure that he keeps hitting all of his marks doesn't look out of his rear view mirror right now. And we see Carl Henderson pushes that corner just a little bit too much, gets off track, gets back on. No harm, no foul. Just a little bit of dirt on those tires. Derek Schilling's trying to push the veteran of Brandon Bernhardt here. Trying to make him make a mistake. He wants to have that second spot going into the competition caution and at the 25-minute mark. As we watch this battle unfold, let's go to a commercial break.
For 20 years, the Guitar Attic has been your home for used and vintage guitars in the Daytona Beach area and at GuitarAttic.com. The Guitar Attic is your home for used and vintage guitars. Whether you're looking for that collector's piece or that beginner piece, they've got you covered. With names like Fender, Gibson, Gretsch, Ibanez, Martin, Taylor, and much, much more, the Guitar Attic has all the guitars you need. And bass players, they haven't forgot about you. They've got all the top names. Amplifiers from Friedman, Victoria, Fender, Boss, and many, many more. They also have the largest selection of used pedals anywhere in the Southeast. The Guitar Attic, located at 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Flemish in Holly Hill, Florida. Also, check us out online at GuitarAttic.com.
Alrighty, as you can see, Derek Schilling is still trying to attack Brendan Bernhardt there. He came really close there from tapping going into the hairpin corner there. Brandon Bernhardt's able to escape the grasp, though, of Derek Schilling. Derek Schilling's not giving up. Brandon Bernhardt locks up the brakes a little bit too much there, gets a little sideways. Derek Schilling, though, he's falling back. He's about 0.6 of a second back now. Bet your Brandon's already like, blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Yes, this is a time race. This is a 1 hour race that they do. They don't do it by laps here. In the AOLL for the road courses, they do it by the time. Brian Gibson asked about it, if it's a time race or a lap race. So yeah, here in the AOLL, all their road races in both the Cup Series, the Sportsman Series, and the Guitar Attic TNT Series here are all timed races. So like I said, at the 22.5-minute mark, they will close pit road, so nobody can come on pit road. And at minute 25, they will have a competition caution, regroup everybody, and then release them to the end. Yeah, Ryan, I agree with you. I think he is trying to force the number 70 to push a little bit harder every single lap. Wears up his equipment, but also hopefully allows him to make a mistake for him so that Derek can capitalize. But don't be sleeping on Carl Henderson. Carl Henderson is slowly coming back there, and he's sitting in 4th spot, lurking, hoping that these two cars get into each other, do something. He can move up and get in 2nd spot before this competition caution comes out. Got some Cody Mitchell fans out here. We got Brian Gibson's one of them, and then we got David and Joanna Martin. Right now, Cody Mitchell is sitting in 10th spot out here. He's still learning the track. I think he's starting to get it under control. He's going to go by Mike Wazinski here. This is for position. He moves up to 9th spot with that beautiful pass. Now he sets his sight for John Gordon. John Gordon's right in front of him, so it's a good battle to watch here. I'm keeping an eye on the battle between Brandon Bernhardt and Derek Schilling. Looks a little bit close, but we'll look at a different battle here for a second, see if Cody Mitchell can catch up to him right quick. Cody Mitchell's about a second and a half back from him. This battle up here, though, is getting hot and heavy. We're coming low. We're about 5 minutes away from the competition caution, I believe. Oh, Derek slips up. He puts the power down a little bit too much there and has to back out of it. Car starts to jackknife on him. That's not the camera I wanted. I wanted this one. Coming down through the S's. Really shows you the speed that they're carrying, way more than the normal cameras do. Oh, Carl Henderson's off track back there. He carried way too much speed there, as you can see. He was able to come back on without crashing. Carl just wants to cut the grass just a little bit too much here. I think they have their own groundskeeper, my man. This battle heats up. We got Mike Wazinski. It shows that went off track. See what happened here. Yeah, did the same thing Carl did. And maybe there's oil over there. Somebody dropping some oil in that corner. It's basically the exact same thing of what Carl Henderson did. We got Dave Wright. Joshua Mays follow him. Maybe there's oil up there on that track as well. Right in front of our race leader too. They're just driving through the grass now. I guess that's one way to tackle this track. This battle will rage on though here between Derek Schilling and Brandon Bernhardt. I believe the pit road should be closed as of now. Oh, Brandon Bernhardt hits the curb hard. Derek Schilling is going to be able to take him on the inside. That lets the door open. He's going to capitalize. Now it's up to Derek Schilling to hit his mark every lap. He went from being the chaser to the chasee. See if Derek Schilling is going to be able to pull away. He continued to pull up to Brandon Bernhardt, but couldn't make a move. And whenever you don't make your move, you lose your momentum and have to slide back. And he had to fight his way back up several times. Let's see if Derek Schilling can start pulling away. He's already about up to a 1.3 of 1.4 second gap here over Brandon Bernhardt. Right now, there's kind of smooth sailings for him. There's no lap traffic right now. So about 2 corners ahead of them. Then you can see on the track map that number 10, 10th place car, which is Joshua Mays, is up there. We'll probably reach him probably the next, like, maybe somewhere on the next lap they'll be able to reach him. Ooh, Derek Schilling makes a mistake. That's the first one. He locks it up, gets a little bit too long. The harder part about making a mistake is making a compound mistake. And he was able to get it out of the throttle before the car came around on him. Good for him. He loses a spot back to Brandon Bernhardt. Brandon Bernhardt is able to get by him. They both made mistakes. They both got passed due to those mistakes. Now, Derek Schilling moves back into the chaser spot. We got Christopher Oliver. He's moved up. He's in the 5th spot. We got Josh Laston with a 15-second lead over everybody. Brandon Bernhardt's running 2nd. 3rd is going to be Derek Schilling. 4th is Carl Henderson. Carl Henderson Their fifth is Christopher Oliver. Sixth is Blake Zeedy. First person lap down shows to be the seventh place of John Gordon. Then it's Cody Mitchell in eighth. Ninth is Gary Winters. 10th is Joshua Mays. 11th is Dave Wright. 12th is Mike Wazinski. And Timothy St. Jean never started the race. We got Joshua Mays right there off the track again. That corner is treacherous right now. We've seen 3 or 4 cars already lose it. Pretty big there. Nobody's crashed hard, but they've lost and went through the grass right there. I wonder if I got my times right. There we go. Caution's out. I was about to ask you. Lap 19 of 32,767. Awesome. That's a great lap left. Let's go ahead and put a false on that. We'll just put caution. We don't need to see that lap of astronomical events. So they're going to catch up right now. As they catch up, I'm going to go to commercial break. See you guys back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Randy from the Guitar Attic. Can we be serious for a second? Are you tired of being a loser? Can't do anything right? Feel like everyone's coming down on you all the time? Well, there's a way out, and I'm going to show you. Hey Mom, look what I learned. That's right, pick up a guitar, learn how to play guitar. Automatically you're going to become a chick magnet. The ladies are going to love you. Your kids are going to think you're cool. So what you need to do is come down here to the Guitar Attic, 16725 Ridgewood Avenue in Daytona Beach, Florida, or go on guitarattic.com and buy yourself a guitar and automatically be the star of your neighborhood. That's guitarattic.com.
Alrighty, welcome back. These guys are out here catching up to the pace car. Josh Latton's already done it, so we got some time. Let's go ahead and bring him up to the booth to see how the track's going tonight. Hey Josh, it's Adam in the booth, man. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Man, how is the race going so far? It looks like a smooth sailing for you.
First off, I hate Sonoma with an absolute passion here. It just kind of likes me, apparently.
I got you, man. So what's the key here? Like, what is your key to success here to be able to get that wonderful about 13-second gap you had?
It's honestly just trust the car and get yourself in a good rhythm and hold on.
Gotcha. Right now, I mean, the car looks stable to so far, so to speak. I mean, it looks like on the older tires it starts to flip out from some of these drivers. But what do you think of the car compared to, you know, let's say a Cup car?
I'd rather run the Cup car.
You'd rather run the Cup car here?
This car is a bear to deal with. It 100%, it has less downforce than the Cup car, or at least feels that way. And with how hilly this is, the blind turns, the hills for braking sections, like, this is murder.
I got you. Well, I mean, you're out there absolutely killing it. We're going to reset here with this competition caution. We'll go green to the end. Do you think you can pull away from the pack, or do you think everybody's kind of learned the track even more and kind of can be up there fighting with you?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind a little bit of fighting, but this is one of those tracks that right now the pace car is unnaturally fast, so trying to catch it after the pit stop is actually treacherous.
Hey guys, yeah, you guys are going through the S's right now. Having some fun here.
Oh, it looks like the pace car checked up.
Yeah, he's at the hairpin right now, coming in. I tell you what, he has the grip hack. Dude, that dude's getting it. No brake, nothing. He is getting it.
100%.
That dude's got the grip hack from hell, man. He was able to corner that like a beast. But hey, man, well, good luck to you. Just want to pull you up to see what your thoughts are so far for the race.
Yeah, it's been fun.
All right, man. Good luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, you heard that. Heard it from the man, the myth, the legend of Josh Laston, one of our AOLL Guitar Addict TNT Series road course ringers. Every series has one. He's the one that's always up there at the front. And I don't think he's gotten every win at a road course, but he's up there, you know, putting on a hell of a show every time we come to a road course. So, always look forward to seeing him. I want to see. I hate that Gary Winters did not get his lap back. I would love to have seen exactly what he could have done once he was charging back up to the front there. Blake Ziti, though, he is on the lead lap. He's able to get it back. Or he never won the lap down. He pitted. He did not have to tow like Gary Winters did. So he's going to be restarting in 5th as of right now. We've got quite a few people. If you look at the trap map, they're out there trying to catch up to the pace car. Lights are already off. They're already stacked up 2 by 2. They're going to go green here unless they delay it to allow the rest of the cars to kind of catch up and restart with the main pack. We'll have to see if the pace car dives off here, or do they go green, or does it stay out? Alrighty, well, we're going to go green then. They are not going to delay the start. Brandon Bernhardt runs wide right there. He's got to catch back up to Josh before Josh takes off. Josh gets a heck of a launch. He is already off to the races. Carl Henderson's able to clear Brendan Bernhardt, but Brendan Bernhardt is not having it. He's trying to come back to the inside. He falls back just a little bit. Oh, we see Joshua Mays just flying there to that first corner right now, backwards. Let's see. Blake Ziti, he crashed on fresh tires right here, supposedly. Yeah, guns a little bit too much, slides around. At the same time, his teammate Joshua Mays, he just loses it and backs it through. Good thing he hit the tire barrier there instead of that hard wall right there, that concrete barrier. He could have done that, and that would have done way more damage to his car. Oh, we got Brandon Bernhardt running 3rd right now. Eric Schilling all over his back bumper. We got a replay of what's going on in the first half of the race. Gary Winters coming through right now on the back of these guys. Gary Winters, like I said, is a lap down. He is not racing for position right now. He's racing to get himself back on the lead lap. Sadly, you know, we're not going to have any more cautions. And so, I mean, we will not be able to get the lucky dog or be able to regroup from here. The highest he will be able to get is 8th, unless other people have some tragic accidents in the top 7 that has them go laps down, and Gary Winters can drive up to the field going through that. Right now, Josh Laston, he's already out to a comfortable 3-second lead. We see John Gordon right there. He's in danger already, going a lap down. You got Christopher Oliver crashed. And just loses it right there. They were turning around without slamming on the gas and burning up his tires. Dave Wright took a spill here. Let's see what happened. Yeah, he's at the wrong angle for that corner. The inside wall, hooks it. All right, let's go back alive and see what... So Josh Laston has about a 2-second lead right now over his teammate Carl Henderson. Then we have about another second back to Brendan Bernhardt, who's running third. Then fourth is Derek Schilling. Fifth is Blake ZD Postuman, but he is 23 seconds back from this main pack here. It's 27 seconds total back from the leader. And then we have Christopher Oliver, who's 47 seconds back from the leader, 48 now. Right now, Derek Schilling is under fire from Gary Winters. Saw them really close together at the top of the S's there. Come down to a hairpin here and see all these leaders come through here. Derek Schilling locks his front right tire up just a little bit, getting in that corner. You know, it probably has Derek a little bit nervous having Gary Winters, who is a phenomenal road course driver, but he's also a lap down, just bearing on your back bumper as you're trying to make your way up to it. Like, he probably feels like he's under fire from, trying to get past while trying to pass Brendan Bernhardt or drive down to pass him. So you're looking out your front trying to race that guy, and you have a lap car behind you giving you this much pressure. Gary Winters, though, is probably just wanting to have a little bit of fun. He's not racing for any type of position here. I just did pass John Gordon, though, as he got lapped. So Gary Winters moves up to 7th. Oh man, Chicky Nuggies are where it's at. Cody Mitchell said he was just too hungry to finish. To try and finish out this race. I say got 20 McDonald's nuggets isn't enough fuel. 20 chicken McNuggets is not enough fuel, man. I don't know what is. I tell my daughter the chicken McNuggets are, special magic. This is magical healing powers that can do anything for her body. She doesn't believe me, though. I don't know why. She does not believe me whatsoever. We see this battle raging on here between Derek Schilling, Brandon Bernhardt, and Carl Henderson's right there outside of reach of these guys, but he's right there in the frame. He's not pulling away from them. He's keeping, they're all keeping basically the same pace. The person that's really kind of pulled away right now is Josh Laston. He's slowly ticking away. He's not pulling away fiercely like he did in the first part of the race, but he is still pulling away. He's only pulling away just a couple tenths per lap. Last lap, Josh Laston ran a 1:20.43, but actually the third and fourth place ran the exact same. Actually, just a little bit faster. They ran a 1:20.41, and Derek Schilling ran a 42, whereas Carl Henderson ran a 65. And then very negligible time differences, but it's showing that Josh Laston is not pulling away on these fresh tires. Looks like everybody has pretty good speed so far. Well, let's see how well they save their tires for this long green flag run to the end. We got about 21 minutes left here before this race is over. And these top three cars are all battling really close together. I'm trying to look and see if there's any other battles out there, but right now, all the other battles are about 3 to 6 seconds apart, and some of them are 10 10 seconds, and some of them are even further than that. We see 87 of Derek Schilling getting pressed again by Gary Winters. Alrighty. And with that, I'm going to go to a wonderful commercial break.
The AOLL began online racing in the mid-1990s, with Papyrus's NASCAR racing still going strong 27 years later on the iRacing platform. The TNT Series races on
And I'm back. We just witnessed a huge crash right here. I cannot stay at commercial break any longer. Got to come back and see exactly what happened here. Derek just missed his braking zone, or either that or Brandon Bernhardt pushed a little bit. He braked a little bit sooner. One or the other happened. Mishaps happen. Try and see if I can find a different view that gives us a different point of view. Go on. Maybe Brandon checked up a little bit sooner because he's riding behind Curl. Didn't want to get Curl, but then that was just a little bit sooner than what Derek thought, and Derek got in the back of Brandon there. Fortunate events happen there, but they kind of opened the door though for Carl Henderson. Carl Henderson now has a 5-second lead over Brandon Bernhardt. Brandon Bernhardt is about 5.5 seconds back now from him, and then Derek Schilling's about Derek Schilling. Not sure exactly what's happening there. Got this. Brandon Bernhardt was able to get by him. I think maybe he was given a spot back up after he dumped him from that accident. Let's see what happened here though. If I can find a better. Car just comes around and just wouldn't stay off the wall there. Got back into it, went to the outside wall, and then he jumps in the pits after this. That's a shame. He was having a fantastic race tonight. Let's go on board here with Carl Henderson. Carl Henderson is under fire right now from Gary Winters. I mean, he's been on him for about 2 laps now, and wheel disconnected from Derek. That's what he just said. So that's why he lost it going around the corner right there. Hopefully you say it disconnected, like it turned off, or it disconnected from your stand, from your AK, your wheel fell off. Everybody knows that phrase here at Ghostfire Media. My wheel fell off. So it looks like we have another victim maybe. Let's see if he can clarify if his wheel just disconnected from the computer or disconnected from the stand. And right now, Gary Winters, after that mishap there from Derek Schilling, he has moved up in the 5th spot. First personal lap down right there. Gary Winters is in 5th. Blake Zede, let's see, Gary Winters here. Blake Zede's about 56 seconds ahead of him, so I don't think he's going to be able to get to Blake Zede unless Blake Zede has something terrible happen to him. He's already pushed a little bit too hard and got himself into one accident, but I think that's one too many he wanted to be in. I don't think he's going for a second huge accident tonight. And Derek, feel for you, man. But now you're going to be picked on. Picked on very hard. Another victim of my wheel fell off. So Gary Winters was able to get around Christopher Oliver. That's who was able to get by on him also to take over that 5th spot. So Josh Laston right now has a 4.5 second lead over Carl Henderson. This last lap, I know Carl been running in traffic and had a lot. He's being hard pressed right now by Gary Winters. I mean, I would let him go. I would be tired of somebody riding right behind me and hoping I make a mistake. I mean, he's not racing you for a position. He's racing to get by you so he can unlap himself. I would let him go at this point. I just want to have a clean racetrack and race my race. And hopefully Brendan Bernhardt, who's about 5, almost 6 seconds back from me. There he goes. He lets him go by right there. Did not give up any time whatsoever by doing that. And now Gary Winters is able to set sail. And Brendan Bernhardt is still basically 5 seconds back from him right now. We got Josh Laston. Josh Laston has a 6.3 second gap over him. Let's see what the lap times we have here. The lap time, Josh is pulling away right now. Lap time for Carl was a 123.69 and Josh Laston's was a 121.67. So that's a 2 second gap on that lap. Whereas Brendan Bernhardt was about 1 second, a little over a second faster with a 122.56. But now Carl Henderson can run his race and not really worry about that number 66 riding him and making a mistake while doing so. So let's see if Carl Henderson can beef up those lap times to be right there where Brandon and Josh are running. And then trying to see where everybody else's lap times are. Next one, Gary Winters. Gary Winters is out there. He's running almost close to what Josh Laston's running, a 122.18 versus a 121.67, but he was riding behind Carl for almost 3/4 that lap. So let's see what he runs when he goes by this next time. You got Josh Laston right there, but you see Gary Winters coming in the frame. He's cutting that gap down really quickly on Josh Laston. And Josh missed a shift right there. It was a late shift. You can hear the engine. But Gary Winters ran a 119.94 to Josh Laston's 122.38. He almost ran his fastest lap of the, not almost ran, he's a second off of his fastest lap, but he almost ran Josh Laston's fastest lap of the race. Josh ran a 119.74 is his best lap here tonight. And on 14 lap old tires, Gary Winters almost tied his fastest lap. So Gary Winters is out there. He would be a threat, like I said, if he was still on the lead lap. And that's what he wants to prove. He wants to get up there and pass Josh Laston to show that he's on even older tires than Josh and is still able to come out there and do this. As he slides right there. Let's see what the lap times are now. Josh Laston ran a 121.30, where Gary Winters ran almost identical, ran a little bit faster this time. He ran a 119.92. So Gary Winters would be the man to beat tonight, man. Sad that he had that unfortunate accident with Blake Seedy. Alrighty, so on this note, there are nobody near each other, so we're going to go back to that caution I tried going to.
The AOLL began online racing in the mid-1990s with Papyrus's NASCAR Racing still going strong 27 years later. On the iRacing platform, the TNT Series races on Thursday night, running the ARCA Chevy cars for drivers looking to learn and have fun. The Cup Series races on Sunday nights, featuring league veterans and Class A licensed drivers. The Sportsman Division races on Wednesday nights, running the Gander Outdoor Trucks with drivers from the Cup and TNT Series. You can catch all of the AOLL racing action right here on Ghostfire Media.
Alrighty. So we're looking at here Josh Laston. He has about a 9-second lead over Carl Henderson. Carl Henderson is about 3 seconds ahead. No, he's 12 seconds ahead of Brendan Bernhardt. And then Brendan Bernhardt's about 23 seconds ahead of his teammate Blake Ziti. Then next up is Gary Winters. You can see where Gary Winters is running right now, trying to get himself unlapped here. Take him out of the blue category and back into the white category here. If you ever raced iRacing, blue. In your relative menu, when you're looking down and looking at other drivers, the lap cars will be in blue and the cars on the lead lap will be white. So he wants to be back on this lead lap, and he's going to fight Josh Laston to get back on this lead lap, but he will not be scored a lap down at the finish of this race. And this could be good or bad. Could be pushing Josh to run a little bit faster times, get him a little out of his comfort zone, because I mean, with the 10-second buffer, you really don't need to push or these corners too hard when we got 9 minutes worth of driving left, and kind of be more relaxed, easier on the throttle inputs coming in and out of these corners. You know, brake a little bit sooner coming into these braking zones, you know, let off the gas and everything like that, so you don't overdrive the car and make a mistake. So, but with Gary Winters behind him, it looks like he's still trying to push hard and trying to be, not let him by. Want to outrun him, show him that that's the reason why he's up in front. And Gary Winters is not running the 119s anymore. He's running the 121s, as he's kind of stuck there right behind the race leader, Josh Laston. I know that's the last thing Gary Winters wants to do is try and push something a little bit too hard and take out the race leader. So he's probably just biding his time, having patience here behind Josh Laston. We got John Gordon. John Gordon hops into pit road. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left. Let's see. Does the car have any damage? Oh, his car has huge damage. Let's see. I missed this one. It shows. That's not who I picked. So let's try this one more time. This is a little bit ago. Brendan Bernhardt was catching Josh Laston, and this was what happened right here. There's Christopher Oliver. So many people right here have that mistake right there. You're driving through that corner, trying to put down as much power, but you're also turning the car while you do so, and sometimes that rear end gets a little bit too light through that transition and just comes around. Right now, Josh Laston is coming to complete lap 37, move to 38. With 6 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Looks like Gary Winters is getting a little bit closer here now, and Josh Laston pushing the issue just a little bit. He's going to run wide and let him take over that spot wisely. Gary Winters will get his lap back and finally coming out of that blue category, move back into the lead lap and get the white. So let's see. I want to see what lap times Gary Winters going to put down now. Will he start trying to chase down, continue to put down these huge lap numbers? Probably last, I say, three laps or so we have left of this race. Christopher Oliver, he's in the pit road most likely after that wreck. His car probably is not handling the best and decided to go ahead and pull it off and move over there. He has about a lap over Joshua May, so he gets in there and gets car repaired. He can come out and still probably finish 6th place tonight. He's on lap 37, where Joshua Mays is running. He's about a third of the way through lap 35, so he should be good to be able to get instead of 4 tires, get a fast repair and get back up on the track and still maintain his 6th spot. John Gordon out there, he's already retired for the night, and he pulled in the pit road after that last crash and said it's a tricky track with this car, man. Yeah, some people look like it gets a little bit of handful, and this track in general I think is, tricky. The uphills, the downhills, with the acceleration zones and the braking zones being a little bit different. S's make you want to really go fast, but the car, you gotta play with the throttle so you don't really sling the car around too much and carry too much momentum. You'll end off on the grass right before that wonderful hairpin. Right here, see, most people carry too much momentum and slide through the grass right there. Got people come down here in this braking zone right here, lock it up like Josh did right there. And you see 2nd place Carl Henderson. We'll kind of get a view of kind of where everybody is at. I mean, it's, desert grass. I mean, that's what I call it. If you've never been to a desert, that's what desert grass is. Got a little bit of a little roughness to it. Got Brandon Bernhardt, lap down of Dave Wright. Christopher Oliver's back out on the track, as you can tell, is out there. All right. No, not rocks. There's a little bit of like patch of weird grass / dirt-ish stuff. Those little green little specks there, John. That's a little bit of grass and turf and dirt and everything mixed out here. It's it's something you don't want to put your tires in. That's all I know, is you never want to put your tires in anything that's not asphalt here at Sonoma Raceway. But we got 2 minutes and 36 seconds here. This will not be the last lap, so Josh Laston we'll have to do 2 more laps here. Can he hold off? Can he be consistent for the next 2 laps to get the win here? Gary Winters is the fastest guy on the track right now. He ran a 1:21.11 compared to Josh Laston, who's running a 1:22.64. Carl Henderson's running a 1:22.89. Brandon Bernhardt's running a 1:23.59, and Blake Ziti at a 1:30.99 on the last lap. So, got quite a few mixed drivers out here with the speeds. Josh is now coming down into the hairpin with 1:15 seconds left on the clock. Locks up the tires just a little bit, rotates the car around. Got about a 12.5 second gap right now over 2nd place Carl Henderson. and about a 24-second gap over Brandon Bernhardt, who's in 3rd spot right now. Let me see if we'll have a front stretch camera. I wanted to see if what pit lanes shows. If I can get, oh, there's no pit lane here. Camera. Normally I would be able to find a thing. I wanted to see if he was actually getting the white flag there, or if he should have, with the time winding down here. Carl Henderson's moved back. Yep. What happened? Yeah, Blake Ziti looks like he went around here. And trouble corner for him tonight. Gary Winters was able to pass him due to his mistakes there. Gary Winters is moved up to 4th spot. Gary Winters stayed in it even though he got into an accident. And that's the checker flag right there. Josh Laston will win the race here at Sonoma Raceway. 2nd place will be Carl Henderson. 3rd place is going to be Brandon Bernhardt. I know all these drivers are ready to be done and over with this track. Waiting for all the drivers to come on across the line, and I'll go ahead and put up the final results once they do. But this man right here in this wonderful picture of Josh Laston, he's your winner tonight. Closed circuit gets a 1, 2, and 6th place finish tonight. Endeavor Racing's going to finish 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th. I guess you guys really like odd numbers tonight. That's what we're going for, is odd numbers. 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th. One way to kind of stagger your team there, Endeavor Racing. Still waiting for everybody to come across the line here. There we go. We got the qualify, or the race results are up. As teammates tag each other there at the end of the race. Our race winner is Josh Laston. 2nd place is Carl Henderson. 3rd is Brandon Bernhardt. 4th is Gary Winters. 5th is Blake Ziti. 6th is Christopher Oliver. 7th is Joshua Mays. And Brandon Bernhardt comes in and ruins the victory. 8th is Dave Wright. 9th is John Gordon. 10th is Derek Schilling. 11th is Cody Mitchell. 12th is Mike Wazinski. So let's go ahead and bring him up as he does his victory donuts. We've already talked to him one time tonight, but we'll go ahead and talk to him as the race winner. Good evening, Mr. Josh Laston. How is it going, man?
It's going.
Oh, man, you got Brandon Bernhardt in there trying to ruin your burnout parade.
And he actually knocked my car into neutral somehow, so...
Oh, man. So how was that second part of the race for you?
It was interesting. I ended up with Gary Winters on my rear and eventually just told him to take it because it was probably going to end up pushing an issue.
I'll tell you what, man. I think it would have been an interesting race if he did not get involved with Blake Ziti there. He was running on almost near the end. He was running 1:19.9s, and your fastest lap of the whole entire race was a 1:19.74. So he was on older tires running your fastest laps. So
honestly, at no point did I push tonight. I got around Blake in the first few laps and just, it was make sure no mistakes happened.
Oh, I got you. I think it would have been an interesting race. I think Gary Winters would have been really good competition for you up front if he didn't have the mistakes at the beginning part of the race, man.
No, I was looking forward. I was happy to see him on the roster for the night because I love anytime he's here, and especially on road courses because he's a great road course driver and he's a challenge.
And so, what was going over the team chat there? Were you trying to help Coach Carl there? At one point, he was running back and forth, fifth, and was able to make his way back up, and was able to hold off for second place. So, what was going on in team chat there?
It was honestly a relatively quiet night to where everybody was focused just on the mission at hand. I did get a lot of updates coming from the back because he was having a great old time, but he was a little worried. But going in, the mentality is no mistakes and you'll come home on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you ran a flawless race. You locked your brakes up here and there in the corners that we could see, but other than that, I don't think you went off track one time tonight so far from what we could see when we were looking at you. Put together a solid race from start to finish.
No, it was a good time, and I'm just happy that we don't have any more of these because I absolutely do not like Sonoma.
Would you rather go from Sonoma or Sebring tonight?
Honestly, I like Sebring a little bit more because there's less blind turns.
I think the blind turns, there's only one really bad blind turn there, and everybody knows it, and you know exactly what to do with that blind turn.
Yeah, whereas every other turn at Sonoma is blind.
And it's, there's always an uphill or downhill, and it's in the middle of a hump of a hill, and get your car rotating off center and trying to go back on either on the gas or being on the brake is very tricky, especially with this car. This car likes to, has a lot of body roll.
Yeah, and honestly, I think my issue with Sonoma is less an issue with Sonoma, and it's an issue with Sonoma and the ARCA car.
Oh man! So, what would be your favorite car to race here if you had your opportunity to?
Honestly, I absolutely love the 2018 Indy cars. Like, it started running a league with those, and they're an absolute blast. Unfortunately, due to a power outage, I missed Road America in those. But, yeah, those cars, the downforce, the way they drive, rather than trying to be smooth on entry to turns with these, you can give it a good twitch and it still bites and dives in quickly. Oh, it's just a blast to drive.
I got you, man. Well, hey, man, you put on a heck of a show for us tonight, and we applaud you for coming out here and being one of those road course ringers here in the AOLL Guitar Addict TNT series. So, your name always comes to the front whenever we're talking about road courses, and you showed us why tonight.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I didn't need that boost to know that I have to live up to expectations, but I'll take it.
Ta-dump. Yeah, the big head syndrome. I'm sorry, man. I had to do it.
I'll dump you on Wednesday.
I don't have any comment to that one. I'm sorry. It just
you have the absolute worst luck, Adam. We know.
I'm gonna go for a double hat trick next week at Homestead. I'm gonna be able to pull it off next week. Go 6 for 6 races with being wrecked out. So it's gonna be fun times.
Honestly, Adam, as long as you can stay out of other people, you are always a favorite for me.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is staying out of somebody else's way. But hey,
Carl, we've made him wait long enough.
He'll get up here and have some fun up in the booth.
So,
have a good night, man. All right.
Yep, thank you, sir.
Alrighty. We welcome Carl Henderson to the booth, man. How are you doing tonight?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Looked like you had your hands full quite a lot tonight. We kind of you were kind of lurking in the background between the battle between Brandon Bernhardt and Derek Schilling, and we saw some very road adventures. You went off roading quite a bit back there trying to trace them down.
I think I only went off track twice, if I'm not mistaken.
And we saw both of those.
Yeah, one time it was, so, the strategy early on, I was behind Brandon, and I was faster than Brandon at that point, I think, but I didn't really wanna try to force the issue at that point, so I was just kind of chilling behind him. I knew I had Derek behind me, but, felt like we were gonna kinda line up there, and, we had a lapped car get up in there, and, I made a dumb move to try to get around them and ended up off track there. Um, and then the second time, I think it was in turn 2 or 3 or something, I just blew my breaking point, but, uh, yeah, I mean, I came in, overall just wanting to not make mistakes, and, I think for the most part I did that, at least none that hurt me, some of the issues that poor Brandon had. Um, you know, I yeah, I mean, I think I was just trying to not lose the race. I knew I had no chance of, beating Josh, so, I could have probably shaved off a tenth or so, if I'd been pushing a little bit harder, but, it was what it was. I was just trying to run consistent.
I gotcha. So, you went out there and ran consistent all night. Like I said, yeah, we only saw you go off the track just twice, but pretty pretty uneventful after that, though. I mean, you just kind of ran your race for the most part. Brandon Bernhardt looked like he was coming back a little bit, but then he had another unfortunate incident there through the S's, I believe, and kind of solidified your deal of getting second overall. At that point, you're just like, all right, well, I'm just going to coast here because I can't catch Josh, and I don't think Brandon's going to be able to catch me. Is that what your mentality was?
Well, yeah. So at the end of the race, when after Brandon had his last issue, when Josh was kind of coasting, he had a 10-second gap on me. I had a 10-second gap on Brandon. I was kind of coasting, and judging by the fact that Brandon stopped gaining on me, I'm assuming he was kind of coasting too. Um, you know, I think first of all, I just want to point out, I mean, I was said it in the team chat. I had to applaud Brandon for he realized he kind of saw the bigger picture, realized he probably wasn't going to catch me with that little time left, and uh, finished third. I mean, he made sure he didn't make any mistakes, and
But
he's points racing. I think his worst finish all season's been fourth.
that's what I was going to say. I was like, even this will not be a drop race for him. I think his lowest is fourth, and that's a drop race for him. That's
I
terrible.
mean, I don't know that he's had 5 fourth place finishes, so this might be a drop race for him in third. But no, when he was, he had that incident with Derek, and I'm not sure what happened there. I just saw them both spinning in my rear view, and um, you know, he fell like 6, 7 seconds back, and he was gaining on me. But a lot of that was I was kind of backing off a little bit. I was making sure I wasn't going to burn up my tires, so that when he did catch me, I know how hard it is to pass here, so I figured I'd battle him once he got a little bit closer.
I got you, man. Well, I mean, you put together a fun race here for yourself tonight. I know you're just out here now, just kind of have the fun little bit. No stress about points and all that jazz. You can just come out and race for yourself. So it's good to come out there and you get a second place win tonight, or not win, but second place tonight.
Well, honestly, at a road course, I consider it a win. But I mean, honestly, I think I was listening to Josh's interview, and he said he hated the track and these cars, but I actually started enjoying it a lot. I mean, I said on the team chat, it honestly feels a little bit like dancing. Like there was a certain flow to it, and like once you started hitting a rhythm with it, it was actually a lot of fun. Uh, and I would go so far as even say soothing.
I got you. I mean, road courses are all about rhythms and trying to understand it. And by lap like 15 or so, you kind of understand it the most, and then you kind of and hopefully enjoy it after that. But those first few laps are just like kind of more chaotic because you got too many people around you and pushing you, and you're trying to look at your front window, look at your rear view mirror, so you're not getting ran over. But then also, making sure you hit your every spot and braking point and accelerating point accurately, so you don't get past. So it's a little bit more stressful, but then everybody kind of spreads out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. Definitely what you're saying there at the end. I mean, after that, up until that competition caution, I was a little tense, but then once we got past that and the field spread out a little bit, like it was okay, I started having fun, started relaxing, and it was a good time.
And well, congrats on coming home tonight, second, and we look forward to seeing what you can do next week, man.
All right, cool. Thanks, Adam.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right, let's bring up the third place, Brandon Bernhardt. Hey, Brandon, it's Adam in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, you got me?
I got you, man. Heartbreaker for you. I had a pretty good rocket ship there tonight, and tell us what happened between you and Derek there.
Yeah, I think maybe Carl just broke a little bit earlier than usual, so then it checked me up a little bit, and then he just couldn't react fast enough and got in the back of me. It happens. That turn's pretty tricky.
And that's what I was figuring up in the booth. I think it looked like because you guys had a little bit further of a gap between Carl and before that, and then in the middle of the corner there, after right as Derek got in the back of you, you were basically on the tail end of Carl there. I mean, so it looked like he might have checked up a little bit sooner or something like that. That's what I figured is something happened a little bit in front of you, which made you check up, which then that wonderful ripple effect.
Yeah, he may have got on early, I may have gone it late. I don't know. It's it's just racing. That track in itself is hard, and that turn especially is hard.
Yeah, well, he didn't Brian Victor's you. He just gave you just enough of a tap to lift the rear tires and turn you around right there. And I mean, you were able to capitalize, or not really capitalize, but you were able to start coming back on Carl there at the end. You're going through the S's, just put down a little bit too much power there, or what?
Yeah, I have no idea. The whole race and in practice, I've never gotten loose right there before, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just spun around. I think the damage on my back end loosened me up some, and just wasn't ready for it there.
I got you, man. Yeah, I mean, your car was wonderful all night long. You were up there all night, and sadly, though, this third place finish might be one of your drop races.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be with being a road course. Third's a hell of a lot better than I would have even imagined.
Yeah, I think Carl was talking about it in the interview, and he was like, "Yeah, I think this might, the worst race I think he's had is about a fourth place finish so far. So when you're adding together all of his, lower 5 drops, this might be one of them, and it's a third place. So I mean, that's a good sign of what you're doing this season so far."
Yeah, I've been able to stay out of a lot of trouble and then just stay consistent. Even the couple of road courses we had, I was able to just have decent finishes. And tonight, got lucky. ZD had troubles, and then Gary had a lot of issues. He's fast, and then Derek was fast. So kind of just got lucky tonight and didn't make too many mistakes.
Yeah, me up here in the booth, I was hoping, Gary Winters could race his way back up to that lucky dog spot before the caution came out, because I wanted to see him up in the mix with you guys and see what he could have done. Unfortunately, he was unable to, but I mean, he showed that he had a lot of speed tonight, be able to drive back through the field there and get his lap back.
Yeah, he was quick. He was quick in practice. I'm not sure if he messed up his qualifying or why he didn't put a lap down on qualifying, but he was
He didn't
definitely
attempt.
quick. He didn't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure what the strategy was there, but he was definitely quick. If he would have been up towards the front, I think he may have had something for Josh, but Josh was pretty fast, and he from everything I saw, he ran clean. So
Yeah, I mean, looking at the lap times between Gary Winters and them, Gary ran about his overall fastest lap time was 1 second faster than Josh's in the race. And then throughout the race, whenever he got into clean air, on old tires, he was running almost running Josh's fastest lap times, which was a 1:19.74, and I was watching him. He was running about 1:19.9s consistently. So he was fast all night. I think he would have been a major player up there in the front, give you guys a run for our money, and you might have came home fourth if thinking that would have really threw a wrench in your drop weeks.
yeah, he was fast. He was fast at the Glen too. So he was one of the drivers that him, Josh, Carl, ZD, Sean. You look when you come to road courses, they're the ones that are going to be up front.
That's what we're missing tonight is Sean. He's another road course ringer here when he comes out and races at Guitar Addict TNT Series. So
Yeah, it was his work schedule, I think, changed, so he's just trying to make all the races he can.
Yeah, that's who we're missing tonight. That comes out here and usually runs up front all night long and kind of throws a little monkey wrench into Josh Laston and Gary Winters' plans when it comes to road courses. He's pretty good on them.
Yeah, Sonoma's tough, so I've been interested to see how Sean did. I'm sure you had picked it up quickly and been up there fighting with Josh.
I got you, man. Yeah, so I just want to let you guys know that your team loved odd numbers tonight. That you guys came home 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th. So you guys are going to be the odd number crew.
That's funny. Not quite as good as CCR's 1-2, but I'll take it.
I mean, it's a pattern of something that you can say you did something. Take home something.
Yeah, a little silver lining there.
I got you, man. Well, congrats with your 3rd place finish tonight. And I'll see you out on the track on Sunday night in Chicagoland.
Yeah, thanks for broadcasting it, and look forward to racing you Sunday.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight here at Ghostfire Media. I was your broadcaster, Adam Wood from Ghostfire Media. We came from Sonoma Raceway. Come out tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday night for the podcast. And on Sunday night, we will be at our 2nd race of the playoffs of the round of 8 at Chicagoland in the AOLL Cup Series. So come out and watch us on Monday night. We'll be at Fuel Racing League. They just start their playoffs. So come out and see the very first round of their playoffs and see who will maybe win their way into the finals. And then Tuesday night, we will be heading to Martinsville in the IVRL Series. IVRL Series, that is the cutoff race for the round of 8 next Tuesday night. So who knows who's going to go in the round of 4 right now. We have Joseph Causey in the 1st. 2nd with who just got a win this week would be Cody McKinney. And 3rd place is, I believe, Patrick Gaspar. I think he's basically locked in if he has a mediocre night on Tuesday night. And then right now, tied for 4th is Charles Urich. And myself, Adam Wood, we were right there on the cut line. We were both at 0 points above the good, and we have to try to race our way past Thomas Carino Jr. He's 1 point behind us, and then Nicholas Weatherby's a few points back. I believe he's about 7 spots back. So come out and see who will make it into the Final Four next Tuesday night. And then next Wednesday night from AOL Sportsman Series, we'll be racing at Homestead Speedway. That will be the final cut race for that as well. There'll be 6 drivers moving on out of the round of 12. So come out and see who's going to move into the final round at Homestead, Miami. And that will be it for tonight from Ghostfire Media. We wish you guys have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.